A clothing business finds there is a linear relationship between the number of shirts N it can sell and the price P it can charge per shirt. In particular, historical data shows that 25,000 shirts can be sold at a price of $40, while 28,000 shirts can be sold at a price of $34. Give a linear equation in the form of P equals MN plus B. That gives the price they charge for N shirts. So I'm just going to relate this real quick to slope-intercept form, because that's what it is. It's just instead of Y, they're using P, and instead of X, they're using N. So the M is still the slope, and then the B is still the Y-intercept. But they've given us different variables, right, like N and P. So this kind of goes back to independent and dependent variables. In this particular case, the price is going to depend on the number of shirts that they sell. Yeah, they're selling the shirts. So the price will depend on the number of shirts they can sell, or maybe they can sell and the price P can charge per shirt. Okay. So yeah, we gotta make an equation out of this. The problem is this format is different, but they are giving us pretty much the same exact data right here. They're giving us two ordered pairs, and the first one, we can see that it's 25,000 shirts for $40. Now, of course, that's $40 each. Can be sold at a price. So, yeah, let's write this ordered pair, right? So the shirts, 25,000 for $40. Okay, so that's one ordered pair. Maybe I should have used a different color. And then the second ordered pair was 28,000 shirts for $34. On this problem, they've actually told us that the price is the dependent variable because it's in the same position as Y would be in the formula for slope-intercept form. Yeah, so I just noticed it too. So yeah, the prices should be
The input.
it should be the output. That's the Y. The Y is the output.
The Y is the output?
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh, all right. So we got to find the equation. That's pretty much slope-intercept form right there. So we do need the slope. So let's go and find the slope. I know they're kind of big numbers, but we can still work with them, right? So here's my slope formula, and I'll try to color code these correctly, but I got, this would be y1 over x. I almost put x there in the numerator. And then we got the other ordered pair, y2 and x2. So we have the values. They're given to us. The first y value is 40. And then the first x value, 20, crap. So I got to write this kind of small, but 25,000. And then the second ordered pair, the y value is 34, and the x value is 28,000. So again, keep in mind, it doesn't matter which order you put these in, as long as corresponding values are above and below each other. Now, as fun as calculating this by hand would be, I'm going to use my calculator. So n over d, 40 minus 34, all over 25,000 minus 28,000. Enter, and it's showing me a slope that is -1 over 50. I'll emphasize that, negative 500, sorry. And don't make that mistake like I almost did. Make sure you double check your numbers there. But this is our slope. This is our slope right here. So now that we have the slope, and we don't have the y-intercept, which we could find all by itself, but we're going to use point slope form. Okay, so again, y minus something, that's going to be the slope. So we got to subtract a y value. We already know the slope, and then we need the x value as well. Okay, so I guess I put these in green kind of inadvertently, but I will use the green ordered pairs because it doesn't matter which one you use. But I'm just trying, again, I'm sticking with the colors here, but the Y value there is 34. And then the X value, 28,000. And then yes, the slope we found ourselves is negative 1 over 500. So now we got this point slope. In my opinion, I think that makes it convenient. So I'm using 34 or 28,034, but some of you probably are using 25,040. And if you did, you should still get the same answer. And that's,
I just take the pairs and I'm like X1, Y1.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, and that's the beauty of this is that you can choose whichever one you want. But
I just wanted to make sure you were switching it up again.
yeah. I'm gonna need more space on that. Sorry, the writing's getting a little small, but here we go. Of course, right now I'm just looking to distribute the negative 1 over 500. So that's gonna be negative 1 over 500x. And I can't do that in my head. I think maybe some of you could, but I can't. So negative, so thank you. Yeah, 56. Now that's positive, it sounds like, which it should be. Negative times negative is positive. So positive 56. Goes pretty quick, but here we go. We got y minus 34 equals that. Of course, one last thing to do here is to get rid of that negative 34 with the principles of equality. It's the addition principle of equality here to zero that out. So add 34. That's going to make that pretty, isn't it? So it's going to be y equals the slope here, negative 1 over 500, which we expected it to be because we already found the slope. But 56 plus 34, I get 90. Yeah, positive 90, so it's a plus 90. And that there is the equation. Oh, I apologize. I did it in y equals mx plus b form. Be careful about that because up here they were like, hey, make sure you use p and n. All right, fair enough. So the y, of course, is the p. So I'm going to take that y and replace it with p. Is it weird that my junior high students laugh when I say we're going to replace y with p? And then, yeah, this is the one that we want. Okay, so let's try with the other ordered pair, right? We got the 25,040. Of course, the slope here is negative 1 over 500. And I'll use orange so we don't get this colored stuff mixed up. Oh, crap, it's kind of big. So the y value is 40. And then the x value, probably should have given myself more space, but it's 25,000. Okay, well, let's distribute that negative 1 over 500. So that, again, negative 1 over 500x. It's going to be plus because it's two negatives multiplied. Yeah, plus 50. So now the new equation, y minus 40 equals that stuff. And of course, just like the last one, the last thing we need to do here is we need to get rid of that 40. So add 40 to both sides. And we get y equals, we zero this part out just as planned. We have the slope, negative 1 over 500 times the x. And 50 plus 40, still plus 90. So what this means as well is that if, what is n? That's the shirts, right? So the number of shirts, if you purchase, or does it sell? They're selling, if they sold 0 shirts, it'd be $90 per shirt. Of course, that's just, that would be the y-intercept. That doesn't really help us because if they sell 0 shirts, it's like, that's 0, right? But this is the full equation.